Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorton. I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today. And if you want to call and ask questions, 323-870-3857. Beeb, let's get started with it, man. Let's just jump right into it. Artur Beterbiev on ESPN versus Callum Smith for Beterbiev's WBC, WBO, IBF light heavyweight titles. Beterbiev wins via TKO in round 7. Guys, it was completely one-sided from start to finish. That's not to say Smith didn't have his moments. He did. Look, man, he was out there trying, but everything he did just got shut down. I mean, Beterbiev walked through every single shot. And, you know, Smith showed a lot of heart, but in the end, man, Beterbiev just way too strong for him. They were all night, the announcers were saying that, you know, Smith has never hit the deck. Smith has never hit the deck, blah, blah, blah. In the 7th round, Beterbiev put him down for the first time in his career. Smith got back up, got set back down just about a minute later, and just shortly after, and after that, Buddy McGirt stepped up on the apron and stopped the fight for Smith. I thought Smith looked, you know, okay in this, but it was, you know, Beeb, you and I had said this all week, and I never understood why anybody was picking Smith in this fight, and there was a lot of people riding hard with him, you know, and talking about they think he's got a chance to beat Beterbiev, you know, and they think he's going to win. I don't know, like, I'm watching that fight, and as soon as he came in there after that first round, I'm like, there ain't no way he's winning this fight.
Yeah.
Beterbiev walked right through his shots. I mean, just completely walked through them. And just put that pressure on him.
Yeah, the problem with Smith is he needs space. And when you shut down that space, he has a hard time dealing with guys on the inside. We saw John Ryder give him fits on the inside. I thought John Ryder beat him, and I thought Canelo beat him because of the inside work.
But how? Let me ask you a question. How on earth why is he not able to dictate the range? For as big as that guy is, his reach, footwork, and everything like that, he should be able to dictate that range.
I'll tell you why. He has a hard time dealing with feints, right? And guys getting low, right? Because he's so tall. When you get underneath that jab, or you step around that jab, right? Like Betterbiev was stepping around that jab. He was getting, you know, he was kind of creeping up, and he was getting his jab off first, and his jab was so much harder that it would knock him back, and he had to reset all over again. So he has a hard time dealing with those shorter, stockier type fighters, right? Because they get low. They get low, and they know how to get underneath that jab. And when they're getting underneath that jab, they're jabbing to his chest, right? You saw Canelo hitting him on the arms, hitting him in the chest, whatever. And he generates power when he catches you at the end of those shots, right? And that short little left hook, you got to walk into that. But if you're getting low and underneath it, and that thing is zinging over the top of your head, or it's grazing the top of your head, and he can't get that leverage that he wants, then he's going to have a problem. You know what I mean? He's going to have a problem. But Beterbiev, people will look at him, and they're like, how is this guy getting his shit off?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because he's so efficient, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but because this guy, he doesn't telegraph anything. You can't time the stuff coming because it's so short, crisp, and precise, and he's able to thread the needle. And in certain instances, when you try to block the shot, he's so heavy-handed and strong. While you're trying to block it, he'll punch right through your guard. And he's got quicker feet than people give him credit for. He knows how to just creep up on you. You're waiting for the guy to come in, right?
Right.
You're waiting for the guy to come in, and he's just methodically creeping up on you, and you're sitting there saying to yourself, while he's creeping up on you, he's touching you, and then he's like smashing you back with a hard jab, right? So you're just waiting for that big shot to come, and he leaves you there guessing, right? And when he puts those shots together, he's just like this, right from the elbows.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Almost like
Yeah.
Wing Chun type punches.
Right.
But again, like they're so short 6-inch type punches. His opponent's sitting there saying to himself, how is this stuff hurting me? Because he's not, it doesn't look like he's really putting everything into it, but he just short, crisp movements.
It's just heavy-handed. You know what I mean? He's definitely heavy-handed.
George Foreman 6-inch type punches. And again, always on balance, perfect footwork, steps around you. You try to get away from him, he steps around you, and another one of those guys who constantly faces you. You can't get away from the guy.
His footwork's definitely on point. No question about it, because his balance is great and everything like that. But again, man, let me ask you a question, B. Do you think Manny Stewart could have helped Callum Smith? I said with his length, with his reach, because I still do. I look at that guy and I say, when he lost that fight against Canelo and when he lost the fight tonight, or yesterday rather, he should have been able to jab and just keep the distance. He should have been able to keep that fight at distance. And if he's not talented enough to do that, then I don't know what he's doing at this level. But I'm telling you, both of those fights, he should have been able to dictate with his jab.
I just will go. I'll go back to my point that he just has a hard time with guys who get low on him. He doesn't like punching down.
But he's taller. That's what he should do. That's what you punch down. That's where your power is when you're tall,
Certain guys just don't, they have a hard time fighting. Like Lennox Lewis had a hard time sometimes fighting shorter fighters. Like certain guys don't like fighting shorter fighters. They just don't. They don't like having to reach down. Certain guys like to just punch straight ahead. They don't have to reach down. And then when you reach down, guess what happens? You're leaving your face open. So it just, I just think he had a hard time getting that jab off because Beterbiev was stepping around. He was getting low. Beterbiev was jabbing to his chest. Beterbiev just kept pushing him off, and he could never get set and he couldn't get that range established.
What happened to Callum Smith? We referenced it earlier in the show, before the show anyway. He was the winner of that not the Super 6, but the World Boxing Super Series.
World Boxing Super Series, yeah.
And he looked amazing in that. I mean, he was the winner. He just looked so good, and when he fought again, then he said he was going to fight Canelo. I thought, man, this is his coming out party. And he just got run over. Completely run over.
But again, not taking anything away from Callum Smith. He's an outstanding fighter. But let's just take a look back at the guys he fought in the Super 6. He did not fight any guys who were inside grinders like a John Ryder and a Canelo Alvarez and an Artur Beterbiev. There's a pattern of behavior here. Guys who can fight in your chest, close the distance, again, shorter, get low. Those are the guys that are always going to give him problems. Yeah. Always. He would have done better against Bivol than Beterbiev. He matches up better against Bivol.
I think he does. I think it's a better matchup. Yeah, I think it's a better matchup. I think the outcome is the same.
I think it's more competitive. I think it's more competitive, but I think he would lose to Bivol as well. But I think it would be more competitive.
Yeah. Stephen 47 says, I read on ESPN that Smith got outlanded in jabs 95-28, and he had a 5-inch reach advantage.
Again, when you're jabbing over your opponent and your opponent's jabbing underneath, he's getting there. Your jab is sailing over the top of his head or sailing up, or if he's stepping around you and he's jabbing at your chest and at your neck. He hit him in the neck a couple times. And you see the replay, and his neck was going like a friggin' turkey with his neck flying all over the place. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I mean,
that was disrespectful.
Like if that happened to someone like Robbie, they'd be more suitable to say that, but not against a guy like Callum Smith.
Very disrespectful, Beeb. Very disrespectful. Yeah, and that's what got me. Again, he's got a 5-inch reach advantage. He's getting out jabbed. Buddy McGirt had to be going nuts in that corner. I mean, honestly, because he's a good trainer. McGirt's a very good trainer. He knows how to fight. And watching this fight, he had to just be just beside himself.
And there's another thing Beterbiev does well: changes levels. See how
he really is good at that. Yeah, he really
See how
is.
Most of those jabs that were landed were to the midsection. Go back and watch, because he changes levels. Again, not to disparage Smith. Smith doesn't change levels he's a straight up and down outside type fighter, and he likes space.
Yeah,
that's what he likes.
And I tell you what, Beterbiev doesn't get credit enough. He gets credit for being a puncher, like a mauler type guy. He can box. Guys, I mean, this guy can box, and he's got defense. He's got good defense.
Footwork.
Good footwork. His footwork is very good. It's on like Bivol level.
It is.
He's got great footwork. The balance is there. He does, again, and I always preach this. You always hear me say it. He does the basics very well. And if you do the basics very well, everything else will fall into place.
It's not flashy.
No, not at all. You're not going to see, Roy Jones type speed or, De La Hoya type flash. He's just he just comes in there. He gets the job done. He does everything, again, according to the book. He's that good. He's just a really good fighter. Now, that being said, after this fight, they're going to try to make, in that fight, they're going to try to make the Bivol fight.
Saudi,
and it's got to take place. Yeah, it's got to be it's going to be in Saudi, but it's got to take place, of course, after Ramadan, and that's correct. 3 months after Ramadan, and that's not going to be until July.
Yeah.
So
it's about 7 months away. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I know, but I want to see it sooner.
I mean, you got to stop being so anxious all the time.
I'm just saying, my anxiety at an all-time high here.
You got to let things develop. You know what I'm saying? You got to ride things out sometimes. I mean, we're older now. Okay,
I know.
We got to be more patient. We're not young guys who just leap. Right? You got to look before you leap now in life.
You know what I heard? And this was so depressing. This was so depressing to me. So I'm watching this. I don't know what it was. It was a video, and I don't know where it was or what. I don't remember. But I remember the guy said at the beginning of the video, because I changed it like 5 seconds, after I heard this. He says, when you're 50, he said, the beginning of the 50s, he said, this is a time you have to embrace, because this is the start of your senior journey. I just shut it off right there. I was like, God, so depressing, Beeb.
Very depressing, man.
Very depressing, right?
There's certain discounts I can get when I'm 55. I'm 1 year away from getting certain senior discounts, I'll take it. I'll take any discount. You know what I'm saying? But just think.
Are you in AARP yet?
You're gonna laugh, but I get these letters in the mail from AARP all the time.
I get the letters too. I haven't joined. My friend joined. He joined AARP. I can't bring myself to join it. I just can't.
Can't do it yet.
Can't. They got to make it worth my while. You know what I mean? I gotta have like some major discounts and for like massage parlors, stuff like that. What's the matter with you? You already get those discounts. You get like the customer discount. Like the good customer discount.
When you go enough times, you become a regular. The fees start dropping a little bit precipitously.
Precipitously?
Yeah.
You want to spell that, bonehead? JC says handy.
They come in handy, if you know what I mean.
Troy Graham says AARP is a scam. Don't join it. All right.
The guy thinks everything's a scam, man.
Excuse me. Still getting over a cold, man. I don't know what I got.
Everyone's sick, man. There's like a bug going around. A lot of people have been sick.
It's an HIV acting up again. I don't know what's going on.
Whoa! Don't even say that, please. My goodness.
Maron. All right, so we think that Bivol fight's going to take place in July, at least around July, somewhere in there. Yeah. So, you think that? I think that Bivol, the mistakes that Callum Smith made last night, that's not Bivol. Bivol will be able to control that distance. Bivol will be able to control that distance. Bivol is one of the best boxers. I'm going to tell you right now, Bivol is one of the best boxers I've seen since Ricardo Lopez. And in my opinion, Ricardo Lopez was the best boxer I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think Bivol can sometimes get caught up against those ropes. And I think what Betterbiev's going to do, it's going to be like the Vosdick fight where we saw Vosdick box very well. And then as the fight wore on, Betterbiev just kept coming forward, kept putting on that pressure. And even when you block shots from Betterbiev, he hurts you. You know what I'm saying? He's just so heavy-handed. And he's going to – Bivol's got great footwork. But again, you can't fight the whole fight moving. At some point in time, you're going to have to hold your feet. You can't move the entire fight. No. This guy will not allow you to do it. So he's going to have to pick and choose his spots. Again, this is a 50-50 fight. There's a lot of people picking Bivol. There's a lot of people picking Beterbiev. No matter what poll you look at, some polls have Bivol winning. I'm seeing a lot of polls, though, again, because of what happened last night. A lot of people are starting to lean back towards Beterbiev, and that usually happens, right?
That's recency bias, as I like to call it.
Recency bias, yeah.
Yeah, I like to call it that, but I think I coined that phrase, actually.
I'm glad that I've allowed you to expand your vocabulary with some of my words here.
I think that was my word, actually.
I'll let you borrow it. But that's the thing. I have a hard time believing, right, that he'll be able to move the whole fight because, again, when you're moving, this guy's moving too. And he's moving just enough where he's close enough to touch you. He never allows you because you're moving, and while you're moving, he's not chasing you. He's just kind of creeping up on you, right? And while he's creeping up on you, he's touching you, continuously breaking your rhythm, right? So you can't get set. You can't set your feet off of the movement, right? Because Bivol likes to move and stop and pop, move, stop and pop. This guy's not going to allow that. He's going to keep creeping up on you and touching you, hitting you in the shoulders, chest, neck. And all the while he's doing that, slowly but surely he's going to break him down. I think he stops Bivol. As much as I like Bivol, I think Bivol's getting stopped.
Nah, I agree with Clarissa, man. I think it's Bivol by unanimous decision.
This is going to be a great one.
It is. It's one of those ones you look forward to, you know, because it's like they really are an evenly matched fight. And I tell you what, I tell you what I said last week before this fight. I said that, you know, you kind of wonder. I'm really anxious to see how Betterbiev looks because, again, he's at the age, he's 39. I believe he's 39 or something like that, where you can get old overnight. Anytime you step in the ring, you can get old. And man, he looked good. He really looked great.
I'm gonna challenge you on that because I had a conversation with Maestro. We talked about this.
Yeah.
I think obviously when you get older, you're not as good as you were when you're younger. Right. But I don't think fighters, athletes, human beings for that matter, wake up one day. Like you don't wake up one day at 45 and turn into 50, 55. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a process. And until we see like slippage, right? Like the whole thing with Fury. I know a lot of people looking at the Ngannou fight, but we've seen him off and we've seen him go right after that Wallen fight when he had that cut. Everyone was like, there's no way that cut's going to heal in time. 4 months later, fighting Wilder's going to knock him out. And what did he do? He comes back and knocks out Wilder. Even the third Wilder fight didn't look great in that fight, right? Comes back, knocks out Dillian White in 4 rounds. So I look for patterns, right? And I like this. If I'm going to judge someone's decline,
sure,
I need.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying, and you know.
But he's 39 years old. And he's got 19 fights, or not? I guess now 20. He's 20-0, 20 knockouts.
Here's another thing too. He lives clean. He trains like an animal. John Scully, I interviewed him. He's one of the co-trainers. He's never seen anyone work as hard. They were posting footage of this guy doing like 270 or 280 for reps, benching. He's squatting 315 for reps. Jeez. This guy's he's only 175 pounds. Right. Now, I think when he was an amateur, he fought as high as 201. But this is a guy who's pushing heavyweight while he's cutting.
Yeah.
I mean, certain guys are just special.
Yeah. But like I
special.
said, though, when you hear the 39, when you hear that 39, and I see he's only got 20 fights, he's not fighting, on a regular clip.
Well, here's the problem with a lot of these guys. We talked about this, these Eastern Europeans. They stayed at the amateurs a long time. And because of that, they turned pro late. Like Usyk doesn't have Usyk's got like 20 fights.
Right.
Lomachenko don't have a lot of fights. Like a lot of these Eastern European fighters. But you know what? But what's happening now is, back in the day, they were these Eastern Europeans and a lot of the fighters in Europe, they were getting paid to be amateurs. But now the money is so great at the pro level that you're seeing a lot of these guys turn pro earlier now, whereas before these guys were staying in the like remember the Russian hockey team? They were like, when they played the American hockey team, right? They were like what, 35? Some of them were close to 40 when they were playing. And some of these Cuban boxers, like so when you look at these countries where they pay the amateurs to stay amateur, then they're going to stay in the amateurs longer than we're used to seeing. Like Americans don't stay in the amateurs as long as these guys do. So it's just they're
quite the opposite, actually. Yeah,
it's more of a cultural type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like frowned upon when you see somebody in the Olympics for the second time in boxing anyway.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, how come he didn't, like Vernon Forrest or something like that? Like, how come he didn't go pro? Why did he wait so long? Why
these guys will win multiple gold medals because they're getting paid to do so.
Yeah.
We don't pay the Olympians. Well, I think now that the Olympians get paid, but there was a time when they didn't really make money.
What did Zhu Shiming, did he win 2 or 3 gold?
I think he won 2. I'll have to go back and check, but I think it was 2.
Man, that's an insane accomplishment.
He ended up turning pro, and
it just wasn't the same, man. Sometimes they can't. Sometimes that style isn't suited for the pros.
Yeah,
which is odd, because you think it's boxing, but it's not. They're 2 different sports.
Yeah, it's 2 different sports.
Olympic boxing is a completely different sport than professional boxing.
Yeah,
bare knuckle is a completely different sport than boxing. Yeah,
we're starting to see guys stick around longer, more now than ever, because of
all the technology, the vitamins, the treatments,
sports medicine, the nutrition.
Yeah, the sports medicine especially, the nutrition and the sports medicine.
Yeah, they have strength and conditioning coaches. They're doing ice baths now.
It's crazy, right?
Hyperbaric chambers and all this stuff. So
I got all that stuff in my basement, and I'm like, I'm sleeping in a hyperbaric chamber. I'm doing the cold bath thing and everything. It's great, mean, you see it.
You look great, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, let's talk about Jason Maloney versus Saul Sanchez for Maloney's WBO bantamweight title. Maloney wins a majority decision over Saul Sanchez, 114 all, and then 116, 112 twice. Jason Maloney retains his title. B, what were your thoughts on this?
That was a phenomenal fight. And up into the 8th round, I had it even. But then Maloney started pulling away. Both these guys were kind of fighting somewhat in a phone booth. This was like an inside battle. And it's not really the fight that I think Maloney wanted to do the whole fight. But what was happening here is, because Maloney was the more precise, sharper, accurate puncher of the two, his opponent was having a hard time landing. So he would have to throw more just to get in other words, because Maloney was more precise, and Sanchez was a guy who had to beat him with volume. So he was throwing a lot more in order for him to land, where Maloney was kind of picking and choosing in his shots and being a little bit more crafty in the way he was landing. He was throwing sneaky shots up and under. He wasn't having to exert as much energy in order to land, where Sanchez was really, really pouring on the volume. And as a result of that, later in the fight, he started to fade a bit, and that's when Maloney was really pouring it on him. Maloney did a great job going to Sanchez's body.
Yeah,
he really did. But there was some points in that fight where Sanchez was landing some good shots. It was actually kind of rocked Maloney and pushed him back a little bit. And I was saying to myself, damn, is Maloney gonna get taken out of here? but the guy is in phenomenal shape, and obviously Sanchez can't crack like someone like Inoue, so he's not going to get him out of there with 1 or 2 shots. So yeah, it was a great fight. It was just a great fight. I had it 116 and 112, but these were hard fought rounds. And as I said, because Sanchez had to exert so much energy and he had to throw so many punches just so he could land. I just think Maloney, just being the more craftier of the guy, he was able to come on late and get a clear decision, in my opinion.
Yeah. Let's talk about the last fight here, or the opening fight. Christian Mbilli versus Rohan Murdoch, super middleweights. Mbilli stopped Murdoch in 6. Man, I'll tell you what, I was really impressed with Mbilli. My problem with him, though, is I think he gets hit a little bit too much. He kind of goes in there and throws caution to the wind.
He's aggressive.
And he's very aggressive, and he doesn't watch his defense much. Now, granted, last night he's not in much trouble against a guy like this.
Yeah.
But as he steps up, as he increases, you know what I mean?
He throws those.
See that
he throws those wide looping shots, and he kind of opens himself up a little bit. And sometimes he loads up a little bit. We're gonna have to see, against someone like a David Benavidez or Canelo Alvarez or David Morrell, if he's gonna be able to do those things and get away with it. So
yeah,
that'll be interesting to see.
I think that's gonna be. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is gonna be interesting to see, and to see how he, how he deals with that. Because he, like I said, man, he was good. He's strong, real strong guy, good fighter. But again, he loops those punches around, man, and he makes himself open. And a guy that's a little bit tighter than what he had last night is going to make him pay for that.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a problem.
Get inside those wide shots.
You can see it. I don't know about you. I can see an uppercut flying right through those wide shots.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? A perfectly timed uppercut coming right through those shots, and that's what worries me about that guy right there.
I agree with you, man.
Yeah,
I agree with you. That's something to have to take into consideration and look at for the future.
Yeah, and I could also see him getting buzzed pretty quickly in the sense that, he comes in and he's throwing these crazy punches, and because he's trying to get his guy out of there. He's trying to put it on him. Like I said, I could see him getting caught early
because he overextends sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's my point. And you want his corner, but is he too far in to change now? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's tough because that's the kind of thing you got to catch, around 4 or 5 fights in.
Yeah,
and then try to change. When you're 20 fights in, it's harder to change because you've had a success, you've had a metric here, and you've had a pattern. Well, I've won everything. I've won everything like this, and then so having to change up style or change a certain thing it's difficult.
Not
because
the
pattern has been established.
Not to change the subject, but didn't I have a bet with Aaron Daly? He was supposed to come on here.
Yeah, where's Aaron Daly at? Why is it? Let me ask you a question.
We pay all the time. How many pies have we shoved in our faces over the years?
A lot.
Right?
Right on cam. Right on cam. Listen, when we lose, what do we do? All day. Boom.
I've emasculated myself on here time and time again.
With the bets or before the bets, or I'm asking questions. I don't know.
You always have to twist the knife, don't you? You always have to turn it. You have to stick it and turn it in, don't you? I mean, let's be honest, though. One of the worst things that a man can experience, one of the most emasculating things a man can ever experience, is having like white cream on his face.
Yeah.
That's gross, right? I mean,
I'm just saying, right?
Think of the optics.
How many times have we done that?
Think of the optics
just to take a pie in the face as a grown man, to take a pie in the face. You know what I mean? Like how humiliating is that in front of everybody, And all you have to do is come up here and give us a super chat now. This is why I don't like betting with I like betting with you, and that's it. Georgie I'll bet with because Georgie always pays up.
Georgie pays.
Nobody ever pays up. Then
I got these idiots trying to bet me money when I can just go to the fucking the sports book. I can go to DraftKings or
Get
something.
better
like
odds
that.
anyway.
You get better odds. Why am I going to bet you straight up?
Right.
Idiot.
That'd be silly. These guys have been getting cream pies since I started listening to this show.
That didn't sound good.
I did not. I think, yeah, right.
That did not sound good.
How many cream pies have you taken, Beeb?
At least five. At least 5.
Yeah.
Maybe 6.
Yeah. That's what I heard too.
Oh God, please. Don't even go there.
How many cream pies has Big Texas giving you?
Oh no. Oh. That's horrifying. Please.
Just stand right there, Beeb. I'm almost finished.
Oh no.
All right, but that was the action for this weekend, man. And let's check the upcoming schedule here and see what fights. Beeb, let's see what we got here. Let's go to the boxing schedule from ESPN. See what we got. I'm sure we got a good fight on the horizon here. January 20th, Beeb, next week on ESPN Plus from Liverpool. Come on, man.
Let's do it. Do it. Show the respect. Show the respect, please.
Natasha Jonas versus Michaela Mayer, 10 rounds for Jonas's IBF women's title. On the co-main of that one, that barn burner right there, Jack Cullen versus Zach Chelly, 12 rounds for Cullen's British Superman. Are we for real? This is the only fight next week? That's it. That's it for you. This is where it peaks. Natasha Jonas versus Michaela Mayer. Stop.
The following week, we got John Ryder versus Jaime Munguia, though.
Boxing. Thank you so much. He gave us a super chat. He said, Beeb said he wants to find out if everything is really bigger in Texas.
Oh, please. This is disgraceful. Hope he's not on the line this week.
Not yet. Not as of yet.
I hope he doesn't come on.
Have you called him back or anything?
I don't even know his number, and I don't want.
I can give it to you. Yeah, I gave it to you a couple
Don't
weeks
give
ago.
it to me. Don't give it.
I gave it to you. Are you afraid? You're afraid like it'll.
Don't give me that number, please.
You're afraid you might call it. I get you. You never know. You're sitting there like, should I call? I might call if I had his number, but now that I got his number, I might call, but I might not call.
That would never happen.
You wouldn't think about it?
I would never call.
You would just do it. It was crazy. That's
That
why I don't give it to you, man, because I don't want you in that situation. Now, this is a terrible card, B. Natasha, is it? You know more about women's fighting than I do because I don't really follow it.
I'm going to be honest with you.
There we go, Aaron Daly. I told you he'd pay.
I told you
were over there clowning him. You were over there clowning him, talking about Aaron Daly doesn't pay this and that and blah blah blah. I told you he'd pay.
I told you he would come on. You didn't want to give him credit.
I told you he'd pay, didn't I?
Thank you, Aaron Daly.
Aaron Daly, thank you. I'm the one.
Eric
I'm the one that believed in
you through the mud, man. He was getting ready to send the leg.
B ran you up one side and down the other, talking about, you're welching on bets and this and that. That was messed up. And I stuck up for you, Aaron Daly.
Eric was getting ready to send the leg breakers down to Liverpool after he was getting ready to
I'm going to send some of my boys down there.
Yeah.
Some pipes, straighten out the situation. Oh, my gosh.
I like Tasha Jonas. She's one of my favorite female fighters. And Michaela Mayer is a solid fighter, too.
Is this going to be on OnlyFans, or what's this going to do?
Don't do that, please.
I didn't say nothing, man. I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to watch the fight. I'm trying to watch the fight. I'm trying to figure out where it's going to be on, and then I get slammed. I don't understand.
We have a great, large female audience here that we do not want to turn off with these types of comments, please.
Kidding me? I'm on TV. They're not turning it off. Are you kidding me?
No, I think it'll be a good fight because it's going to be Michaela Mayer moving up to 147.
Yeah, that'll be great.
This guy hates women's boxing.
Yeah, it's going to be a real good fight there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That'll be decent.
Said nobody ever. What's the over-under? 5 or 6 people watching that fight. What's the over-under on it?
It's on ESPN Plus. Yeah, I don't think a ton of people will be watching it because it's going to be there. It's going to be in the afternoon too. Like,
I'm sure that's the reason. In the afternoon,
2:30 start.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll keep most people away. Yeah.
Please.
What is the next fight coming up? January 27th is the next big fight coming up.
It's a decent, it's a decent fight with Ryder and Munguia. I think that's going to be.
You've been crowing about that fight since it was announced.
I like that fight.
And you like Ryder in that fight.
I like Ryder.
I like Munguia in that fight.
Okay.
I like Munguia in that fight.
Tight fight, odds wise.
What are the odds?
He's like a 2-1 favorite, Munguia. Is that close?
That's still pretty far. I mean, 2-1?
2-1? No, he's just under a 2-1. Like it's.
Oh, he's just under a 2-1. What, like minus 170 or something?
Something like that. Yeah, it's close.
Right.
It's a close fight.
Yeah, I'm not. John Ryder. Okay, so look, man. Here's where I come out in that fight.
Well, you didn't think he beat Callum Smith. You thought Caleb Smith won that fight when they fought.
He absolutely won that fight.
Yeah,
it wasn't even close.
I thought Ryder beat him.
And that fight wasn't even close, man. But I'll tell you, John Ryder has gotten all his run on being a loser. He has.
It's pretty harsh, man.
No, I don't mean it. No, I don't mean the guy is a loser, like he's in the gutter. You know what I mean? I don't mean it like that. I mean he's got his reputation off of losses. He has. He's not won a big fight. He's got his reputation off fighting big guys and losing.
I don't know about that. I mean, he beat Zach Parker. That's a good win. He beat Danny Jacobs. He beat Danny Jacobs. That's a solid win.
Stop it.
I don't think
What failed drug test? What is this guy talking about? Nigel MacGyver says that why is no one talking about the failed drug test? This is driving me crazy.
There is no failed drug test.
What are you talking about? What failed drug test?
The atypical finding that it's so stupid.
What are you talking about? What atypical finding? On who?
On Betterbiev. There was like an atypical finding, but it wasn't an adverse finding with VADA. So
I gotcha.
It's just stupid, bro.
Yeah. A very highly paid loser, John Ryder.
That split decision that John Ryder got over Danny Jacobs, I actually think Danny Jacobs won that fight 115 and 113.
Yeah.
So I don't think he really won that fight, but it was close. It was close.
Yeah. Like I said, he's getting his reputation off of losing to big guys.
No, you're right.
And Munguia is going to be no different. Listen, never bet on a loser when you can bet on a winner.
But he does have wins over Zach Parker and Danny Jacobs. Those are solid wins over top 10 guys. And he did fight Canelo, but he did lose very wide to Canelo. I think maybe he won. How many rounds you give him the Canelo fight? Like maybe 1 or 2?
Like 30 seconds of the Canelo fight?
Yeah. But again, Munguia, right?
I don't know what it is about.
What's he done? What's Munguia done that's been...
No, listen. Anybody who's listening to me knows I'm not the biggest Munguia fan out there. But that being said, Munguia, at least is doing what he's supposed to do.
Well, he went life and death with Derevyanchenko. I don't know if he was supposed to.
Derevyanchenko's a pretty good fighter.
He's old. He's like close to closing in on 40.
Oh, age isn't much, We got Betterbiev over here at 39, and you're over there ready to bury him.
I mean, you called the guy a loser, man.
Jesus, he's not collecting AARP yet. Maybe.
You're out here internet bullying.
Okay, first of all, I was taken out of context. I didn't call the guy a loser.
Call the guy a loser. You're internet bullying.
I didn't call the guy a loser, okay? I said he's built his reputation on.
How many kids are out there listening to you call this guy a loser?
I didn't call him a loser. You know what I mean?
That
was taken fully out of context. Completely out of context.
There's some young kid out there that maybe lost a baseball game.
Yeah.
Struck out with bases loaded. Wow. And the team lost because of him.
Right.
And he got called a loser. And now he's hearing you calling this guy a loser. You don't do this. You don't put this message out there to the young people out there that when you just slip up every now and then, all of a sudden you're a loser in life.
Listen.
Kids, don't ever give up. Don't listen to Eric. You're not a loser. You're not a loser. Don't give up on yourself.
If the bases are loaded and you strike out, no, you don't get any ice cream for that. I'm sorry. No, you don't get the treat at the end of the game if bases are loaded and you strike out.
You're telling me.
Oh, that's right. Sprinkles are for winners, son.
You're telling me straight home, no dinner,
Nothing.
Go to your room.
Yeah, you think about that. No, we're not going straight home. You go into the batting cages, son, because you just screwed up. All right, and you like how that feels? Will you stay in a batting cage so you never feel that again? That's what you do.
You see that movie, The Great Santini, where that guy he's playing basketball, and his son gets fouled, right, and he gets knocked down on the ground. He goes, you go out there and you knock that guy on his ass, or you don't come home tonight. That's you. That's Eric. That's Eric at the soccer game.
I told Elena it was her birthday, won one of the soccer games, and she was just a little kid at the time. She was like, 10 or something stupid, And I told her team, I said, listen up. I said, Elena's birthday's today. I said, now whether she has a birthday is entirely depending on you guys. You guys win today, she has a birthday. You guys lose today, not so much. They won. They won, by the way.
You had to light a fire under them.
That's right. Hey, somebody's got to do it. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to do it. All right, let's go to the phones here. 530, Robert, you're live.
Hello, guys.
Robert.
Let me ask you a question.
Hello, guys.
Let me ask you a question, Robert.
Oh, Jesus.
So how many times did you strike out with the bases loaded as a kid when you were in Little League?
Robert was in the Olympics, son.
Joe.
Say again, Robert?
I didn't play Little League, Joe.
Were you playing?
Robert,
what did you play? Wiffle ball?
No, weren't you? You were in like the Olympics or something like that, right?
Yeah, in the Special Olympics.
Yeah,
that's correct.
What was your event?
What was your event, Robert?
I was in track events and stuff like that. You know, when I was a lot younger,
athlete, son.
Walk a lot better than I can.
I gotta see footage.
Yeah. Athlete, son.
I gotta see tape footage of it because the way you
met Jim Lampley and everything in there, didn't you?
The way you had to think about it when he asked you that question, it didn't just roll off the tongue.
No,
I think you're fabricating your background. I think you're fabricating.
I was involved with the Special Olympics for a number of years. So.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to see the records.
Eric, I've got to disagree with you here, and I'm sorry to do this.
What?
What
you mean you got to disagree?
Yeah, I've got to disagree with you.
What?
I'm sorry. I am not sold on Jaime Munguia.
Nobody's sold on Jaime Munguia, son.
They have handed him one marshmallow after another.
This will be 3.
And he is managed to pull these fights out of the fire. And I firmly hope that he finally loses because I think he's all hype and no substance.
That is cold.
Why would you hope that he loses? What did he do to you?
Far more cold-blooded than anything I've ever said, man.
Make everything personal. Wow. I hope he loses. Just like you wanted Triple G. You wanted Canelo to seriously hurt Triple G in that third fight. I mean, what is it with the sadistic nature that you have?
Robbie's cold-blooded, man.
Well, look,
that's how he is.
I get so sick and tired of certain fighters getting pumped up, and they don't deserve to be pumped up. And Jaime Munguia falls into that category.
Physically maimed because of that? Because they get pumped up?
Physically
That's not an even trade. That's not an even trade-off.
He has never really proven that he's as good as his record indicates that he is.
No.
And I don't think he's capable of it. Let's face it, Eric even pointed it out. John Ryder has lost 6 times. If he beats John Ryder, he's not going to get any credit for that because John Ryder has lost multiple times. But I am so sick of guys like Jaime Munguia getting these high rankings and stuff like that when they really don't deserve it.
He's right. The guy shouldn't be ranked number 1.
Let me ask you, Robert.
Okay.
Do you think he beats John Ryder?
No.
You think John Ryder's going to beat him?
But I think it's strongly possible. But my point is, if he wins, if John Ryder wins, then you'll hear, well, Jaime Munguia wasn't ready for this level of competition. if Jaime Munguia wins, you're going to hear, oh, he was supposed to do that. When is he going to? And Edgar Berlanga is in that category also. He's another one that needs to prove himself. I mean, you've got DAZN has a couple of pretenders there that actually need to meet each other in the ring so we can find out who has really got the goods.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I just don't think John Ryder is the guy to beat Munguia. That fight is in Arizona.
Well,
right. I mean, the whole place is going to be packed for Munguia,
Yeah.
And John Ryder, again, man, it's not like John Ryder is a whirlwind. Everybody's got this thing that John Ryder is this great talent. Listen, man, he's not beating Munguia. You think Oscar would have made this fight if he thought John Ryder could beat him?
No,
it's a miscalculation.
This is my point.
It's a miscalculation on Oscar's part.
Oscar makes fights.
The matchmaking doesn't always work.
Yeah. Well, you're right about that, Joe. But in most cases, Oscar puts his guys in against people that he knows that they can beat. I tell you what, even if Munguia beats John Ryder and somehow manages to beat Edgar Berlanga, if they ever make that fight, I will never be convinced that he's a top-notch fighter because he's never really proven it.
I want to see him fight somebody. You know what I mean? He fights a lot of, like I said, a lot of the John Ryders, a lot of those type, but he never fights anybody in the upper echelon. He really doesn't. And I think that's why there's a lot of resentment toward him, because he doesn't fight those type of guys. Remember when Leo Santa Cruz, Santa Cruz, when he was coming up and he had that undefeated record and everybody piled on him because he didn't fight anybody. But when he started fighting guys and he's winning these fights, then all of a sudden, you get that rolling, you get that bandwagon rolling. But
exactly. But his record has been, what is he, 41-0, 42-0? I mean, by now, don't you think they should know what they have?
I think they do.
I mean, he's never really had his.
No, I think they do know what they have. And that's why he's not fighting, that's why he's fighting John Ryder next and not, somebody dangerous.
I get it.
I don't know. I just think there's way too much publicity behind him, and I don't think it's deserved because whoever the matchmaker is at Golden Boy finds the right type of opponents for him to beat. And they need to put him in against somebody that can actually give him trouble. Now, who that would be, I don't know. They're talking about Canelo. That's ridiculous. Canelo will walk all over him.
Yeah.
David Benavidez would walk all over him. David Morrell would school him to death.
Yeah.
So I don't know who at 168 you stick him in against, so we can find out, what this guy actually is. But John Ryder, I'm hoping that Ryder wins because I'm sick of hearing about this Munguia train.
It's cold-blooded. Boxing, thank you so much. He said, there's a question for you, Robbie. Would you take a Mexican or a Russian in a fight?
I would take the Mexican all day.
Yeah. He's down with La Raza. I told you, Beeb. Robbie's my boy. I'm gonna have to see some competition records
as far as next week's fight on the 20th, I'm going to take the week off because the NFL playoffs are more interesting.
Wow, that's cold-blooded. Why? Because they're women?
What do you mean you're taking the week? You're taking the week off.
A bias. I don't understand why
you're taking the week off.
Such a bias against women's boxing.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You're taking the week off.
That's exactly what it means. I am not watching that fight card.
Yeah.
Why, Robert?
Because they're women. You know why?
No, that whole fight.
True sexist.
You read the card.
What a sexist pig you are, Robert. That's horrible.
Give me a break.
You are such a misogynist, Robert.
Robert, do you want to do a pie bet?
The NFL playoffs are more interesting.
Do you want to do a pie bet?
No.
He'll never do a pie bet.
He just said no.
Pie bet on what?
Munguia and Ryder. I'll take Munguia.
No, I don't because honestly, no matter how it turns out, it won't be good.
What does that mean? It won't be good.
Doesn't think it's a good fight.
Well, because because if John Ryder wins, you're going to hear, "Oh, Munguia wasn't ready for somebody like him." If Munguia wins, you're going to hear,
"What does that have to do with you sticking the pie in your face?"
Do that.
What does that have to do with you sticking the pie in your face?
I'm not gonna do that. No.
I'm calling up Mrs. Herrick, and I want to know why you won't do it.
Mrs. Herrick.
Okay.
All right, Robert.
Anyway, see you guys later.
All right, man.
Get lost.
Oh, that's cold, man. Why you got to say that to Robert, man? I told you he was in the Olympic. I told you, didn't I? I told you.
I'm gonna have to look up the records. Anyone can fudge that. Stephen A. Smith wrote a book, and he said he played one game in college basketball, and his average was 1.5 points. How the fuck you average 1.5 points in one game in basketball? Tried to lie.
Stop it.
I mean, I'm just getting tired of people fudging their record, man.
716 Buffalo, you're live. Then again, maybe you're not. All right, going once, twice, done. Yeah, so I'd say he might have just got snowed in, man. Did you hear it in Buffalo? So there was supposed to be a game, like a football game in Buffalo yesterday.
Yeah.
And they canceled it because of the weather. They said with the wind chill and the temperature plus all that snow in Bill Stadium.
Yeah.
They canceled that game, man. It's insane.
Then in Quebec, where they had the fight yesterday, that place was snowed in as well.
Had to be a mess. It had to be a mess. You know, and this is the first time, I tell you, this is like the first time in recent memory anyway, that I can remember them calling an NFL game because of the weather. That just doesn't happen.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I never have either. Yeah. But I get it because it's a public safety hazard. You know what I mean? They can play the game. Nobody cares about that. But
who can sit out there and who can sit in the stands when there's snow everywhere? And it's just
right.
It's just I wouldn't want to go to a game under those conditions.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I wouldn't either.
No,
but if you brought a shovel, they said if you brought a shovel and you came and shoveled it over there, they would give you $20 an hour to shovel, and they would also give you free tickets to the game.
That's
how about
insanity.
that?
Wow.
Yeah, how about that? Playoff game. All right, let's see here. 443, you're live.
Hello, how are you?
Who are we talking to?
Troy Graham.
Oh, it's Troy.
Let me get your speaker real quick.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Troy. I got
you.
I got you.
How you doing, Troy?
But yeah, I saw the fight, but I'm doing good, man. I saw the fight with Betterbiev and
Smith.
What's the other name?
Smith. Callum Smith.
Last night, right? Good fight. Here's what I saw, right? When he used his length and he was fighting from the outside, this is Smith, he was handling Betterbiev, and Betterbiev, when he comes in, he's so open for a left hook to the body and a right uppercut. He was crying for an uppercut every time he came inside, but he never gave it to him. It's just that once he got on the inside, Smith kind of shut down. He wasn't firing back at him. But if he would have saw what I saw, he would have dropped the uppercut on him. He's right there for it. I can't anoint anybody great. I don't see any greatness in either one of those guys. One guy is actually obviously better than the other, but I don't see Betterbiev as a great fighter. If I see anybody that could beat him, it'll be David Benavidez once he chooses to move up, right? So I think that'll be a good fight for him if he can't get the fight with Bivol here, right? And I didn't watch the other fights. I just focused on that fight. But I got to ask you a question there, sir.
Which one?
Hello?
Yes.
Which one, me or him?
Eve.
Okay, go ahead.
You.
Okay, go ahead.
You take cream pies to the face, man?
He takes them all the time to the face, from what I heard.
I mean,
to the face, son. Cream just dripping off his chin.
But
when you mean cream pie, what are you saying?
You know what he means.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the Munguia fight now.
Right, go ahead,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
going down there.
Go ahead, man. Please.
That's sorted right.
Cold-blooded, boy.
Okay, now honestly, as far as it goes to Munguia, he, like David Morrell, has not fought anybody. So everybody is hyped on David Morrell, but they down talk Munguia. It's so amazing that one gets hyped up and one gets down talked because of how they look in the ring. To me, I think Ryder will beat him because Ryder has fought the more experienced fighter. It's not so much that he's superbly better than the man, but when you get into the ring with people who have more experience than you, you obviously learn from them. And then when you don't get into the ring and you fight quantity instead of quality, what the hell are you learning? If you have a bunch of knockouts from people you were supposed to knock out, how's that going to help you when you get in there and it gets tough? Someone who's a skilled boxer, someone who's just going to keep coming and coming, how's that going to help you? Right? It's not going to help you. So that's why I'm picking Ryder, because he's been in there with who now? He's been in there with Jacobs. He's been in there with Alvarez. Who else has Ryder fought that we know?
Zach Parker.
I just named two.
Zach Parker, Rocky Fielding, decent guys.
Okay, so and as far as Munguia, who has he fought? That we recognize as fight fans. Who's the recognizable name on his resume?
Sergey Derevyanchenko, which he went life and death with. Who was 40 years old almost.
Okay. And so
Liam Smith.
If I was his handler,
no one great.
Gabe Rosado, Terriano Johnson, Demetrius Ballard, Gonzalo Gaston Correa. Okay, he's fought a who's who.
Oh, please.
A who's who of what? Speed fighters, of course. But honestly, this is a good gauge for him if he wins. If he beats Ryder, and it's not just how he wins, it's not just if he wins, but how he wins, because that's how you judge a fighter. You base it on how he wins, right?
What's up?
That's
so
me.
If he comes out and he stops Ryder, yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Troy. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just telling Eric. That's me, Robbie, and Troy are all picking Ryder.
You got that?
I mean, you got.
Yeah, I'm picking Ryder.
You're picking Ryder. I'm telling you, Munguia's winning that fight.
There's a strong contingent out there that is rolling with Ryder here. What are
we doing? What are we doing? What are we betting?
Going to the bank.
What are we betting? What are we betting?
Whatever you want.
Let's do a pie bet. You want to do a pie bet?
On this one, I'll do a pie.
You do a pie bet. You like those cream pies, don't you? You're gonna take
one too. Then I'm doing a pie bet with Fury Usyk. I'm taking Fury. You won't do that one because you're afraid.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll do that one or not.
Before I jump off here, if he wins this fight, right? This is Munguia. I'm going with Ryder. I'm sticking with what I said. If he wins this fight, I think his next fight should be against David Morrell, because that'll tell you where both of them are.
I'd love to see
where both fighters are.
That's a good fight.
How many fights? Exactly. How many fights does Munguia have? Over 30?
No, he's got like close to 40.
Does he have over 30 fights?
40.
Okay, good. He's close to 40. And this kid has 9 fights, and everybody says he can walk on water, right? He's supposed to be the next coming up.
A lot of people are high on him, yeah. A lot of people are high on him.
Anyway.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people high, period, in boxing. But that's my thoughts on it, man. I'm going with Ryder, and then if he beats Ryder, make that fight with David Morrell. And then get him a belt to go along with the numbers that he has on his resume. And then you can start talking about Alvarez and David Benavidez and Plant and those other people. But right now, you can't talk nobody until you get past Ryder.
There you go.
Y'all have a good day.
All right,
stop with the pies to the face, sir.
Oh, God.
All right. Yeah, Jaime Munguia's 42-0 with 33 knockouts. But he, largely hasn't really fought a whole lot of people, as far as,
Has not fought the who's who in boxing yet.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the fight.
Yeah, I think it's going to, listen, man, I think it's going to be a good fight. I really do. But I think that Munguia wins that fight going away. So there you go. All right. Let's go to 774. I think this is Georgie.
Yo, how it sound?
From Rikers. Georgie, what's up?
Georgie, what's up, man?
How you guys doing, man? I haven't had you for a minute.
I know, it's been a minute, man.
Good to hear you on a good working phone for once.
Well, they upgraded in Rikers. He's no longer in cell block D.
Big. Love you, my brother. Listen, I just calling in to let you know what everybody knows. Nate is trash. They say, yeah, better be the best fucking puncher, probably the best puncher in boxing right now. Probably.
Who?
It's still, man. I mean, I never was impressed with Smith. I wasn't. Anybody even fucking remotely give Smith a chance here? Or what's a mismatch on the game? I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think Smith was going to win the fight. Eric didn't think Smith was going to. There was a lot of people picking this fight with hopes and dreams, and we don't do hopes and dreams here on this channel.
Nope. Harsh reality.
I guess probably people from Europe, the UK, and whatnot, probably, but everybody knew what time it was. So I mean, I'm telling you, I didn't even watch the fight because I know the outcome. Fight that I already know the outcome, I don't really watch it. I watch the replay and shit like that. I ain't wasting time with that. I want to know about the rematch with Spence because I heard that they moving on, that they're not doing it. Is that true?
The rematch with what?
With Spence and Arrow in
Beef, you're muted. You're muted.
He's talking about Crawford and Spence.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute, man. I tell you, so Crawford apparently, let's get into it now. So Spence apparently had cataract surgery, Beeb, this week. And apparently, why did he wait so long to get the surgery? That just blows my mind.
Yeah,
why did you not have the surgery after the fight?
I'll give you my after the fight. Yeah.
I don't understand.
That's right. Yeah.
And listen, man, if I were Crawford, Crawford said as much in his in the tweet or whatever.
To gain sympathy. That shit is sad.
To gain sympathy?
Trying to gain sympathy.
Right or wrong?
Yeah. So, but I think that, like I said, that fight is. I think the second fight is done. I think that second fight is done.
Yeah,
I think that Crawford's moving forward. No, I think Crawford's moving forward. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to fight him again.
No, I don't either.
I don't know that for sure, but
what's his man's future then? Well,
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Spence retires, or at least stays out for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if he stays out for a long time. And the thing with Crawford, I don't know what Crawford is doing right now. He seems to be this could be another year that he only fights one time again.
He's got to pick it up. I mean, he's got to pick it up. Just for sheer activity, he's got to pick it up.
I mean, he's getting older now. You gotta keep those tools sharp, right? You gotta inactivity is not a great thing for anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Say that again?
Because he's like you say, like this is supposed to be the two welterweights out there, right? He's supposed to be before the fight, supposed to be the big fish, right? Arrow and Crawford on the other side. They finally fought. If one retired and the other motherfucker getting on fighting once a year, it's like we seen the last of these people.
Well,
we've seen the last. So the new breed that come on, the Bulls.
Here's the thing, Georgie, and I hate doing this and singling out organizations, but PBC is off to a bad start. They're already doing it again with keeping their fighters inactive. Guess what's going to happen? All the other guys like Devin Haney, like Teofimo Lopez, like Anthony Joshua, all these other fighters that have been active are going to continue to be active. They're just going to pass everyone by. Like the Tank Davises and the Errol Spences and all these PBC fighters who want to fight once a year, they're going to just get left behind. And there's more to look forward to. And there's other fighters out there who are willing to fight more than once a year. Look at Anthony Joshua. He's fought four times in the last year. There's other fighters out there that are putting in the work.
Yeah, you got to commend that. Definitely. AJ all day.
So these guys are just going to get left behind, Georgie. That's as simple as that.
Yeah, I agree.
But the question, let me ask you one more question for Maloney. So, because I think PBC got a deal with Amazon or the Saudis. Who they got the deal with?
Amazon.
What that deal really means?
They have a deal with Amazon.
That's what the deal really means?
They have a deal with Amazon, and I think they're going to be getting another deal somewhere else. I'm speculating it's going to be Peacock.
Ain't nobody watch that shit.
Well, we'll see.
Peacock?
We'll see.
What the? Oh, my fucking goodness.
That's cold.
Listen, I got to go. Everybody out there, support the channel. Really important. You know how Beebs and Eric, these people, they like historian of this motherfucking game, bro. And it's a pleasure just to participate and listen to you guys. Always supporting. I love you guys. Check you next week.
Georgie. Awesome. All right, Big Texas, we're going to come back to you here in just a second. So give me a second. We'll come back to you. Big Texas on the line holding. There you go. Let's see here. News and rumors this week. Chavez Jr., Beeb, got arrested this week, right?
Yeah. Heard about
for illegal possession of an assault rifle.
Jesus Christ.
Now, I don't understand. Like, I thought you could own an assault rifle, but I think in California, they got a little bit different rules over there. Like in Ohio, you can just go and buy one. Nobody cares. This is the Midwest, baby. It's like the wild, wild West here.
Yeah, it is.
We do what we want to do when we want to do it, But in California, there's rules to things.
Yeah,
so
strict.
Yeah, so he was arrested for illegal possession of an assault rifle. The rifle was described by police as a ghost rifle, which means the rifle cannot be traced because it was not registered.
Jeez.
Which is pretty crazy. We don't register any guns here. In Ohio, they don't register any guns.
You don't have to register them, huh?
You don't have to register them, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's how we do, boy.
How old do you have to be to have a gun over there?
Like 12.
Fucking.
Yeah, because you think about it, like hunting and stuff like that. I think, what is the minimum age for hunting? I thought it was 11 or 12.
Really?
I could be wrong. Oh, yeah.
That's insanity, bro.
Yeah. You got kids with guns walking around. Doesn't matter, son. You hold it down in Cincinnati.
That's gonzo.
Ohio. So Chavez Jr. was arrested, released on $50,000 bond.
That's
All
it?
right. Yeah. Yeah. What is that? What is it? $5,000? A $50,000 bond would be $5,000, right?
I'm not even sure, bro.
It's 10%. Isn't it 10% of whatever they're saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. I think it's a $5,000 bond. Reese Mack said all guns should be registered. I agree. All guns should be registered. That's how you going to know who has one and who, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I live in Massachusetts and we're pretty strict here too. I mean, I don't subscribe to this wild west where anyone can just walk into a Walmart and buy a rifle.
Yeah. And there's no like waiting period or anything like that for handguns. It's just
I'm not a fan of that. I like people to be have background checks and shit like that. I don't
accountable. You want accountability.
I don't want anyone to just be able to go grab a weapon and be able to own it.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, too much stuff happens like that, man.
Yeah, it's too crazy.
So yeah, Chavez was released on $50,000 bond. He's now entered a treatment program, I'm assuming for drugs. Chavez Jr. retired, right? Yes, he did. He retired up.
He's done.
Yep.
He's been done.
For sure. Yeah, he's been done.
He's been
when
done.
he lost to Anderson Silva in a boxing match, yeah, he's done.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap. And not that Silva's not a good fighter, but he should not have beaten Chavez Jr.
No,
so
not at all.
Naoya Inoue and Neri is looking good for May. Neri's a good fighter, Beeb. Neri's a really good fighter.
Solid.
And now look, man, he's definitely past his prime, no question. I think Luis Neri is really past his prime. But he's still got power and he can still fight. He's not that far gone. And if he lands a shot, man, Inoue could have some issues. That's for sure. That's a good fight, man. Inoue's stepping up. He's fighting all the guys, man. He's fighting all the really good fighters.
And he's staying busy.
Yeah.
Which is important.
Absolutely. All right, let's see here. Let's go to Big Texas. Big Texas, you're live.
How's everybody doing? Hi, B.
B, come on back on camera. Come on back on camera, B.
What's up, man?
Come on up. Sit up. Come on.
Yeah.
Steve's just waving at the
I just
camera
want to say hi, everybody. Hi, B. I'm just ready. I'm not going to waste everybody's time. Been spending time writing a poem for Beeb and a beautiful song.
It's beautiful.
So I just want to get to it because I know this is for Beeb and it's what makes him happy. So let me not just waste his time.
Yes.
Here we go.
For sure.
Hope everybody's ready. Roses are red.
Yes.
And violets are blue. Artur Beterbiev couldn't beat the love I have out of me for you.
Wow.
There we go. Now we're going to sing a beautiful song.
That was a beautiful poem.
Hope he enjoys it.
Yes.
I hope everybody enjoys it. The most important part is that Beeb enjoys it. So here we go. I hope everybody's ready. Beeb, would you love me if I take you home? Would you still love me, Beeb? Would you still love me, Beeb? Beeb, would you love me if I take you home?
Yeah.
Would you still love me, Beeb? Remix. Beeb, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. Beeb, you know it's true. Come on, everybody, sing along. Ooh, 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 I love you.
Love you.
Beeb, I love you.
That was good. That was so good. Thank you, Big Texas. And Beeb appreciates it. Beeb, are you there?
Oh my God. That's insanity.
He shows respect to you, you know.
Oh, God help me.
This ghost said I'm moist.
I deserve so much better than this.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at jhabib1, and you can find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on X at ringside73. Everyone, we will see you next week.